LeBron James is universally considered to be one of the best players in the history of the NBA, and at age 35 is still seen as the face of the league because of his leadership, excellent play, and how influential he is. His success, continued excellence, and the capability of turning any team into a championship contender often place him in the debate for the greatest player of all time, along with Michael Jordan and other NBA legends. But while that debate may be endless, the King is also making a huge impact in areas such as politics and entertainment. And with Space Jam 2 getting closer every day, his case as arguably the greatest athlete when it comes to off-the-court activities is only getting stronger. Welcome to Courtside. Today, we'll take a look at one of LeBron's greatest off-court ventures, the movies, and why he is so interested in making them. James isn't the first player to show an interest in the movie industry. Old-school fans will remember the days when Shaquille O'Neal starred in films in which he portrayed roles that went from a genie in a musical to a superhero, though none of those were successful at the box office. Few other stars have attempted to star in their own movies, and most of the ones who have tried have seen similar results to Shaq, with a few exceptions being the original Space Jam starring Jordan and Uncle Drew starring Kyrie Irving. So, with evidence suggesting that it would be a bad idea for a basketball player to get involved with Hollywood, it would have been normal to think that the game's greatest star would have stayed away from it as much as possible. But not only he wouldn't do that, LeBron would also take it a step further and decide to get involved in the development of films and TV shows as a producer. And as such, he and childhood friend and business partner Maverick Carter co-founded Spring Hill Entertainment back in 2007, a production company that was named after an apartment complex in which James used to live with his mother in Akron. The company started to work immediately and has produced a series of films, TV shows, and audios that look to deliver an empowering message to its audience. The first of these productions was More Than a Game, a documentary released in 2009 that follows a younger LeBron as he and his high school teammates and coach go from being unknown to becoming a top team in basketball. The documentary was well received, but aside from it and a few other cameo appearances, the only time James has had a role as an important character in a movie was in the 2015 romantic comedy Trainwreck, where he portrayed himself. He and Carter let know that the purpose behind their production company wasn't to have LeBron become a movie star, but instead to let it be a platform with which people could learn and at the same time express themselves. As such, Spring Hill has produced a wide variety of content that includes comedy and animation, personal empowerment, game shows, talk shows, and documentaries about social and political issues. Most of these productions have been successful, resulting in LeBron's platform becoming each time bigger and more influential, both in the world of sports and outside of it. An example of this is the HBO documentary Student Athlete, which follows the story of 4 college athletes and how their effort results in a profit for their respective programs, while they don't get a benefit out of it. LeBron has repeatedly expressed his opinion against the NCAA making millions as a result of the play of its players, while they weren't allowed to receive any kind of payment for their image. His position helped to produce a change in this regard. First, the governor of California approved a bill that allowed students to profit from endorsement deals, and shortly after, the NCAA board chair approved a measure that will allow college athletes to get paid for the use of their image. While it can be debated whether allowing college students to get paid for making an activity related to their studies is good or not, it's clear that LeBron's input helped accelerate these decisions. Another instance in which he made use of this platform to protest against social issues was when he created the Showtime documentary series Shut Up and Dribble. The series was inspired by the answers that James got from television host Laura Ingraham after he criticized the United States administration in 2018 during an interview. Ingraham responded to these comments by saying that he should shut up and dribble. Spring Hill has also created content centered on the empowerment of the African American people, another of the topics that LeBron is proud of standing up for. These include history's documentary Rise Up and Netflix series Self-Made, inspired by the life of Madam C.J. Walker. The first talks about some of the most important battles that the civil rights movement, inspired by Martin Luther King Jr., faced from 1955 to 68, while the second shows the story of the first American woman self-made millionaire. And of course, with LeBron being a pro sports player, his production company made sure to create content that would show the insight of what an athlete's life was like. The first among these was the Starz comedy Survivor's Remorse. The series shows the life of a player that gets signed by an NBA team as he and his family face against the adjustment process that comes with moving into the sports elite. It ran through 4 seasons and received universal acclaim from the critics. Other notable productions in this class include The Carter Effect, inspired by the career of Vince Carter, and What's My Name? Muhammad Ali, an HBO documentary that shows parts of the life of the legendary boxer and recently received the Sports Emmy for Outstanding Long Sports Documentary. But aside from teaching and showing to the world different perspectives about the lives of athletes and social issues, LeBron has also dedicated some time to creating content that provides pure entertainment. NBC The Wall is a perfect example of this. The game show has been running since the end of 2016, and about 30 different international versions have been created around to replicate its success in the United States. James has also taken part in the video games industry with the NBA 2K franchise. He was the cover athlete for the 2K14 and 2K19 editions, but he and Carter were also added as producers for this last edition. Specifically, Spring Hill was in charge of producing 2K20's My Career Mode story, which was called When the Lights Are Brightest, and included the performances of Idris Elba, Rosario Dawson, Thomas Middlewich, as well as several other NBA stars. The story, which is about 5 hours long, was well received by fans and critics and set up a new standard for what a career mode should be like in sports video games. And last but not least, the release of Space Jam 2 was recently teased with a video of LeBron wearing the new Toon Squad uniform. The sequel, titled A New Legacy, has been long awaited by fans. It'll see Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes taking up a basketball court for the first time since they did it with Michael Jordan back in 1996. This time, James will play the hero, and the film is expected to be released in July 2021. Ultimately, when taking a look at all the films and TV shows in which LeBron has been a part of, either as an actor or as a producer, one can reach two conclusions. The first one is that he genuinely enjoys being a producer. The quantity and quality of products that Spring Hill has created shows that he, Carter, and their whole team are continuously trying to put their best in all of their projects. And of course, that they're doing well generates a financial incentive to keep on creating more. And second, as an activist, the ability to create content that's able to educate and inspire people can help create change in many different ways. With the change in the way the NCAA will treat its players, LeBron has already shown that he's capable of generating the pressure needed to alter any given circumstance that he might believe to be unfair. He's been ambiguous, to say the least, when people have tried to make him talk about a possible future into politics. And as a player, that's a wise decision, but he's repeated that change needs to start from the top and that he's willing to use his platform to try to improve the lives of as many people as possible. So, while still not close to happening, there's a possibility that LeBron might decide to go all in into social change after retiring from the NBA. Only time will tell for certain. But the one thing that is safe to say is that he's not planning on stopping his producer career anytime soon. The move to Los Angeles in the summer of 2018 not only provided him with a new basketball challenge, but also a chance to get familiar with the best artists and producers that Hollywood has to offer. And while his playing career should be his top priority for the next few years, the foundation that he's already laid down for a future away from the court indicates that his career after retirement could be as amazing as it has been before it. Summing it up, LeBron James is one of the most gifted athletes on and off the court. His play is arguably one of the best of all time when it comes to basketball, and his vision as a businessman and a social leader could be second to none. And the fact that he's been able to create so much quality content while still dealing with the rigor of being the face of the NBA can only make people excited for what's to come, both as a top player in the league and as a rising producer. Now, do you have any favorite films or series that has been produced by LeBron and company? Let us know what they are in the comments. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, remember to give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more NBA content. We are Courtside.